that Dhruva and get the advice that this all-knowing sage Narada was very pleased to hear Dhruva's words, advised him mercifully, as says Narada said, it is beyond doubt that you can attain to the supreme good only through Vasudeva. That means whatever you want, God can give you all, everything what you need. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, the four goals of life. You want dharma, you can get dharma. Artha, money, wealth, prosperity. Kama, fulfillment of all desires. You can have all of them. And moksha, the mukti, the liberation. So you can get everything if you like. So only by deep praying to God you can get it. Therefore, worship Him. Therefore, worship Him means worship the Lord with complete dedication of your heart. Then the worship of the Lord, Sri Hari, is the one common means. That was the advice of Narada, not for him, for all of us. For the attainment of any of the four aspects of human welfare, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Therefore, O my dear boy, go to the Madhuban, that holy place on the bank of the river Jamuna, and go and sit there and start doing austerity and prayer and calling upon God. Bathing at the 3 times of the day. Early days, that was the practice, 3 times to take the name of the Lord. And then you have to take a shower and clean your body and then sit for your meditation and prayer. So only taking the 3 times the sandhas in the holy water of Jamuna, duly honoring the deities, adopting the proper seat, performing 3 types of pranayama. What are the pranayama 3 types? There are 100 types, but these 3 types means pura inhaling, holding, exhaling. These are the 3 types. So sit and gradual purification of the senses and the mind. One should meditate. Now after that pranayama, then you will meditate. No? As in Patanjali's yoga is the same, no? Asana, sit in good posture. Then do pranayama to cool the mind, and then do meditate on the chosen ideal. So it's a traditional path. Do that. He should be now meditated upon the form, the divine form of Narayana. No? And you can think of every bit part of the body of the Lord, so that your focus goes into God and God alone. This is called concentration. How to draw the concentration? You look at the every beat of the part of the divine body of, say, Ramakrishna. You observe every tidbit, from feet, toe to the head. You can visualize and concentrate on these special parts of the body. And then with that, then after meditation, the mind that has been in gathered by the contemplation on all these above features of the Lord, now should it be above in concentrated state, be fixed finally on his face. Concentrate. That's the problem. The normal meditation also one can do that, starting from the feet and pointing out every feature of the body. The fingers, the nails, the nose, the eyes, the ear, and then focus on the beautiful face, and then that face beaming with joy and bliss, no? Which beams with benevolence and radiance to fulfill all the prayers of the worshippers. So as if he is there ready for me. To think that when you close to meditate, then you think that God is waiting for, giving his boon and blessings. So as if he is bright and brilliant, his face is shining. The mind of the devotee contemplating thus the auspicious form of the Lord will should be filled with bliss. If anyone can do meditate like that, the focusing the whole attention on the face of the, particularly the whole body, but whole body is still distracted. Come back to the face and the beaming face, it will shine and the radiant light, and then concentrate on that, and ultimately that radiance will remain and the personality will go. You merge into the silence or in the deep ocean of love and joy. So, and then the mantra, you chant the mantra parallelly, repeat the mantra that is both sacred and secret, that is to be repeated in the worship. That is the worship means this meditation. That's why it's called sacred secret. That has power and it is sacred. That's why it's auspicious and purifying, because that's why mantra is purifying the heart, mind, and soul. So, like that, he advised. Then, after Narada had just advised him to how to meditate, and then Narada had thus completed his instruction. And the Dhruva, the prince, then circumambulated the teacher, Narada, went around him and departed to Madhuban on the bank of Jamuna river, as Narada suggested, which is sanctified by the feet of the Lord. That means it is a part of Vrindavan. So Lord Krishna played there. Now, when the boy departed, today's reading, page 343, volume, book number 1. Book number 1 means I am saying this. There are 4 volumes. I am talking about the volume 1. But it is actually book number 4. Then the boy departed to Madhuban, and Narada went to the palace of the king Uttanapada. After advising this boy, Narada the Rishi, it is said that when you really sincerely pray to God, his messengers come. Who are these holy people? So here, Narada Rishi came and guided the spiritual seeker, here, Dhruva. And then Dhruva left for then Madhuban, and then Narada went back to Dhruva's father, the king Uttanapada, and worshipped, honored, and comfortably seated. The sage spoke to the king thus. So he entered. That was the tradition. If a holy man comes, the king will stood up with honor, or wash his feet, give seat and honor like that. And that is the grand tradition of India. Huh? A penniless beggar will be given this seat, royal seat. That is their respect for the, what you call, holy people. So he went, Narada went to the palace. Naturally, the king gave honor and respect, and then he was given a seat. Then Narada seated there, and he said, "O king, what are you brooding over with a gloomy face? You have nothing wanting with respect to worldly welfare, whether it be a dharma or to kama." Huh? So Raja, why your face is gloomy? Huh? It is, you have nothing wanting. You have plenty of your auspicious activity, dharma, you are a righteous person, dharma, artha, plenty of wealth and prosperity. And all the desires which human being can expect. You have all of them. So why are you so gloomy? The Raja then said, the Raja is the Dhruva's father. He said, O great one, my atrocious and merciless self is responsible for the expulsion of my noble minded and intelligent son of merely 5 years. Think of his son, father, any father. Huh? This son, 5 years son, was abandoned and he goes to the forest for praying and so naturally the heart will be, repentance will come in the heart. No? So the king says, my atrocious and merciless self, myself, I am responsible for the expansion of my noble-minded and intelligent son of merely 5 years, along with his mother. So they have no place because fallen in the trap of the samsara. That is the way. You want or not want, the world brings you suffering. She was also a prince, but she was ignored because of the main prince, the queen. She was also queen. Dhruva's Ma was also queen, but had no position. So now the king is having some feeling of repentance. Will not wolves attack and eat that boy lying perhaps somewhere in the forest, helpless, hungry, tired, and looking almost lifeless? No? He's thinking of the son now. Why did I not protect the child? I went with the mom, but this boy of 5, so where he will be in the forest? There may be animals, beasts and animals may be around and then take away the life even. Alas, alas, look at the meanness to which I have descended due to my subjection to a woman's charm, meaning his other queen. My despicable self rejected the loving advance of my son to be seated on my lap. No, he didn't ask anything. She wanted to have some affectionate, loving care for me, but I was so rude and I did not do that. And out of that, she was rejected. Grieve, then Narada said, grieve not, O king. The boy is protected by the Lord as his very own son. So God, don't worry about it. God is the protector of this boy. You are not aware of his greatness. His means this boy is Dhruva's. He is going to be a world famous personage. Soon will that masterly boy return after accomplishing the feats with even the guardian deities of the quarters cannot equal. That means he will attain so much merit and he will do so much austerity. As a result, he will gain so much power that he will be respected all over. No, he will come with greater power, greater strength, and in the process also enhancing your fame. So he will come back with dignity and prestige more, though it has happened. Now Dhruva is in the forest, went in that bank of Madhuban, the Jamuna river, and started doing his austerities. Now the sage who was narrating this story, his name is Maitreya Rishi. He now said, hearing these words of Devarsi Narada, the king became absorbed in the thought of his son, forgetting even the prosperous kingdom. That's father become.
There's so many times I hear this performing austerities, but I don't. What does austerities mean? I mean, austerities I know of are like not eating for days on end or different things like that. But is that what they're talking about? Those kind of austerities, or do they mean like meditation and chanting and stuff?
Yeah. There are two types of austerities: physical austerity, mental austerity. So, physical austerity, what you are talking. So, Dhruva naturally doing physical austerity. He was raised in the palace. Now he will go into the bank of the Jamuna river, sandy bed, hot sun, under the tree, eat fruits and roots, what is available. So it's all, sometimes you don't get anything fast. So that is the physical austerity. And mental austerity is also there. Mental austerity is that also, this brings power in the person. If it's channelized, it helps us to move towards God. Mental austerity is called sahanam sarvadukhanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilaporohitam satitiksha nigandate. Shankara says, sahanam sarvadukhanam. In life, so much uh, difficult situation comes. All types of dukkha, suffering. All types of dukkha, sahanam, all types. Sahanam sarvadukhanam. All types of suffering. We get physical suffering. No. Say, dukkha, life is dukkha, na? Buddha find out that truth. Na? What is the truth? Noble truth. He found a noble truth. Noble truth is dukkha is there, suffering is there. An endless suffering. How many varieties of suffering we wonder? Mental suffering, no? Somebody says something, harsh word, someone looks upon me a little bit, someone puts me into some difficulty, mental difficulty. So these are if you can just not only tolerate, but endure without reaction. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam. All types of dukkha, if you can endure, how you endure? You may say, I don't react. No? That's good. That's the first step. Then one mental reaction goes on. So why? Why this? It is bad. Why he did that? Why she did that? No? This type of mental struggle goes on. So that's why, second, sahanam sarva dukkhanam, without trying to remedy it. Normally, what we try, if someone does something, we try to correct it. If it is wrong, to correct it. No, take some means, take some action, reaction. No, but this tapasya, austerity, will be such that he will not try to mend it. Okay, let it be so. It's for my good, for my spiritual growth. Take some higher spiritual attitude. Sarva dukkhanam of pratikara purvakam, without trying to mend it or correct it or take some action or do something. And not only that, chinta bila purahitam, not brooding over that point. So that what has happened, why did that happen, why that person did that to me, why reaction? No, mind is so peaceful. That is called titiksha. Chinta bilapur. Bilapur means lamentation. Oh, I should have reacted like that way. I would have done this way. I would have said this way. Naturally, these are very natural thing of life. No, even truthful person does that. But a titiksha gives the power, such power, that they don't get involved into any of these things. If you can do that, then you are tapasya. There's a mental tapasya. So the tapasya is both type.
It doesn't necessarily mean like
Fasting,
or like holding your arm above your head.
That falls in the physical austerity. Level of physical, that's also austerity. Why I am doing this? Our Lord will be pleased with me. For him I am raising my hand. In Himalayas, there are sadhus, urdhva. They call their hand always lifted like that. And I knew that one, I saw in Himalayas like that. Even there are some people who take an austerity. I will never lie down. I will stand all the time. I will not sit. And they hang themselves And on the in armpit, they tie in a branch of a tree some rope, and put their arms there and stand day and night. And I have seen in them their feet become so big and the water is oozing from the body. Uh, they think, why this austerity? With some intention, I will be king next time. I will be a rich person. Some material desire. So that was austerity. But the austerity, same austerity can be done, one for God or one for material achievement or after death, heaven, whatever.
This kind of physical austerity, I frankly think God doesn't get pleased because there is a middle path that Sri Krishna said, Buddha said, that because when Buddha was starving himself, that's when, I correct me if I'm wrong. But I think these are just,
But these are austerities people do. Not that it is good or bad, but people do this type of austerity. Himalayas you go, you can find. They in the heavy cold, they will do japa. It is our
if their mind is to that, but how many people really have conquered that?
God knows what they do these practices.
Because all the time people will be thinking about the discomfort. That's what that attention would go.
Probably they endure that enduring capacity. They increase like that and think that God will be kind to me to fulfill my desire. So main thing is what Thakur said, no? To keep the mind in God, that is the greatest austerity. All forget out all these things. What is the greatest austerity? Whole day and night to think of God. You eat well, you sing well, you do dress well, so everything is okay. But if to remember God is the point, no? As you said, austerity may lead you to people will praise. No? Oh my God, he is a great austere person. You go to Himalayas and ask, then you find, oh, there is a yogi. Huh? He's he's here for so many years doing austerities. Or physical austerities or some mostly physical. Physical austerity, much better is mental austerity. Mental austerity, equanimity. That God is the doer. And true, really, it leads, it purifies also. When you have control, you have to bring control to your body. You can fast, you can have no food, okay. But you have to have that capacity to endure. We cannot do that. And even we are we thinking of God? That also we are not doing.
One of the greatest mental austerity, Jesus Christ was the exemplifier that they were pushing to crucifixion, and here he was praying, forgive them. And I think that's the greatest mental austerity.
They have raised above mental austerity, no? There is no animosity. As they said, Chinta Bila Purohitam. He did not try to correct the method. I am being tortured. What did I do? No repentance, no question. It is the way it goes on. I am not affected by that. And so I am beyond that. Soon, so Dhruva then started doing all this tapas austerity. So, hearing these words of Devarsi Narada, the king became absorbed in the thought of his son, and he forgot even his prosperous kingdom. As for Dhruva, he bathed in the Jamuna river to purify himself. Then he fasted for the night and meditated on Srihari with concentration, as instructed by the Rishi Narada. She spent 1 month in the worship of Srihari, eating only some fruits like kapitha and badara once in 3 days to maintain the body. This is austerity power. In 3 days, getting some fruits available in the trees, and the trees are plenty on the bank of Dhruva river. So eating that, not on a fasting, no? With just to can maintain the body, little fruits. In the second month, first month, so he started austerity. Look at that. He meditated on Srihari as instructed by Narada, spent 1 month in the worship of Srihari. He has been engaged in puja and worship and praying and all this. Eating only some fruits like this once in 3 days. One day you eat some fruits, and we do Ekadasi, 24 hours. No? And not 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. After 3 days, some fruits. After every 3 days, little fruit. That did 1 month. And on just to maintain his body. In the second month, he carried on his worship, eating only grass and dry grass, ghas. Only grass and dry fallen leaves. The dry leaves fallen. So early days, that's why our Hori Maharaj and others, our Swamis, Brahmananda and others used to say, when the disciples asked them, Maharaj, we want to go to Himalayas to do austerities, no? Then Maharaj used to say, you need not have to do the austerities. What austerity will you do? You are not fit for this. We have done for you. You do little, live a good life, japas, meditation, enough for you. For us, no, we are getting good food, good bed, have some comfortable just take the name of the Lord. This is Brahmananda Maharaj said, that you need not have to do, we cannot do this austerities. It was a one time. As the time passed now, the level of austerity now it has all turned into mental austerity. Previously, really there was, food was not available. You were in the forest life leading tigers and wolves and all these are surrounded by them. You have to survive snakes, lizard, scorpion. No? Now we have, where is scorpion? We sit in very nice air-conditioned room and meditate. No? But still we cannot do that. But those days austerities was to the extreme and extreme. The Buddha did that, as you said, gradually. So here,
see, the dry leaves means is nothing. The tea, different types of herbal tea, regular tea, those are the dry leaves. We are boiling water and drinking.
But you only eat that, that's all.
So
you are not, where is water? Who is boiling water for you? Boiling condition, where you get a boiler?
What water you can get? That's the only drinking basically.
But you cannot get in when you are doing austerity. You go to Himalayas, where you get such things. And they take, that's why sadhus take the Ganga water in their hand, and some may not have the pot even. They are called, but they do austerity, that has its value, that purifies, makes the control over your body and senses. Your senses are controlled, no? What the question of other aphan? You cannot have your tongue. And that's why it's called jite rase jitang sarvam. Who have conquered the tongue, he has conquered all the senses. Because it's the most disturbing thing. For the tongue, $1 billion industry of all the restaurants are going on all over, no? Eating, what is the life? Morning, what shall I eat in the breakfast? And those who work in the kitchen, you know what the breakfast item will be, what the lunch will be there, what the supper will be there, what the tea, what the snacks. So, what is tongue. If one can control the tongue, then problem is very zero. Whatever comes, that's why sannyasis, which Swami says in Song of the Sannyasis. The food, what perchance you get, no? Well cooked or ill, judge not. Do that? This is strong, this is light, this is hot, this is small, this is little meal, this little hot, little this. We are so sensitive to these things. And And according to time has changed, austerity level is different. But we should keep the idea that spiritual life means austerity. We should have minimum, not that excessive is everything bad. But that is the style those days. If you go to austerity, who will feed you? There is no. In Himalayas, you go, there are satra, means the food supply areas where the sadhus are fed. Some Marwari people, rich people, they fund it so that the sadhus in the Himalayas can get some food. They supply the money, they keep an money center, they cook meals at a particular time. They will start, say, 11 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the evening, like that. And you come, the Gerua clock they will see, and they will give you some little chapatis and spinach and little dal, that's all. So they supply that. But sometimes it is not available. There is no satras. So here, then his second month, he started eating only the grass. Baba, how do you chew the grass? And dry fallen leaves. Once in 6 days. That was 3 days. Now it is 6 days. Taking in only water once in 9 days. Austerity level is increasing. 9 days fasting. Ekadashi, there are different types of Ekadashi. Where they drinking not a drop of water, that's also one part of it. No jala means no water. You don't drink water also. Many of our sadhus don't do. They are doing for a long time. They don't mind doing that. But what is the purpose? That's the point. Purpose is God realization. Or purpose is
Detoxification.
Detoxification is one day is good. But this type of detoxification, you will die. Our body may not take it. So taking in only water once in 9 days, he spent his 3rd month of worship in continuous samadhi. He is doing the right thing. Upavas is a Sanskrit word. Fasting. What in English is fasting? Its Sanskrit corresponding word is upavas. Upo means samipya, going close. Vasa means to live. That means you stay close to God. Not only fasting is not the only goal. Goal is that you don't spend the time for cooking, for going begging, collecting, cleaning, nothing. You do only remember God and sit close to God, meditate upon God, think about God. That is real upavasa. That is real fasting. But we cannot do that. So we only say, okay, I will not eat. I will only eat fruits. I will only drink water. I will only take juice. I will have. So according to one's capacity, one does. But in addition, it is helping this detoxification of the body if you do occasionally. But the point, how do you spend that day? You should be spending that day of upavasa more of meditation and prayer and japa, so that you are close to God and sit close to Him. Means your mind is thinking of Him. So he did that. He is reducing the food, but utilizing the time in meditation on God. Narayana. During the 4th month, he established control over his breath. Pranayam. He got the full control over his life force. Taking only air, only the breathing. He's given all the food and other items. Gradually, he's living on that water. Even water is given up, then only breath. And taking in only air once in 12 days. Baba. One stop 12 years. But to hear about it is really, we cannot comprehend, no? People how could do that. Anyhow, He remained in unbroken samadhi. That you can do. Thakur used to go to samadhi. His breath stopped. The doctor could not find a pulse, no? Or a heartbeat. That means, yes, you can stop. It's called kumbhaka. Kumbhaka can be by absorption in God so much. Even his breathing may be one breath after 12 years. Baba. I saw some people practice a kumbhaka in Rishikesh. One yogi, yes, practice kumbhaka. I don't know how. Austere. He dug the ground, and then there are associate people also. And then he entered into it, and they put the entire spot back with the clay and everything. And it's half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. After that, they dug and he came out. So he can breathe, control the breath, kumbhaka, for 3 hours. But he can do it for 12 years. He remained unbroken samadhi. When it came to the 5th month, Dhruva established absolute control over the breath, abandoning even taking in air once in 12 days. Absorbed in meditation, he began standing on a single leg like a fixed post. Right? After that, absorbed in meditation, he began standing on one leg. Withdrawing the mind, the source of all senses and sense perception, into buddhi, he perceived nothing but the Lord's form which he was meditating upon. So withdraw all the body consciousness from all the sense organs and put the mind into this buddhi, means determined object of meditation. As he meditated with perfect concentration on Brahman, the support of Mahat and the other cosmic categories, as also the master of Pradhana nature and the Purusha, individual spirit, all the 3 worlds trembled at his puissance. That means it is such austerity, the power of austerity, actually, as if the whole world is shaking, seeing the austerity. As the boy periodically shifted his stance from one leg to the other, the earth rocked under the pressure of his toes, as a boat rocks under the feet of an elephant standing on it. No? This power of austerity. Anyhow, giving an example that his mental strength is such a powerful mind, he has full control over the mind, and he is thinking of God and doing this austerity. All these ancient stories we find, the power of Ravana is the power through austerity. All the spiritual power, all the miraculous power you see in the world, this come out of austerity. But don't get tempted for this. Don't do that. Ours is very simple. Call upon God, eat balanced food, eat good sleep, balanced sleep, balanced food, balanced work, and do meditation and grow spiritually. Keep
and
the mind.
balance liberation also. Liberation also will be balanced, not extreme.
Liberation is liberation. There is no extreme. Liberation is freedom from bondage. But mind will be purified. That's the major thing. So when, after restraining the prana and all the offices, he began to meditate on Srihari as one of the universe, as one with the universe. See, now he thought, I have become the universe. No? Meditating on God, meditating on Hari, he felt that I am beyond the gunas, I am beyond the Mahat Tattva. All the philosophy of Sankhya. He raised his pure mind because he is meditating simultaneously and doing austerity. So that is leading him to the higher experience. He identified with the Virat. I am one with the cosmos. Everyone in the universe, including the gods and the guardians of the quarters, began to feel breathless, and they resorted to Sri Hori for relief and shelter. So all the gods and goddesses, they felt trembled. They said, such a spiritual personality is growing, and their position will be all lost then, no? There is a jealousy among the gods. Gods are also jealous. We humans are jealous. Huh? But gods are much more jealous. They fight with each other. You becoming more powerful than me. So that means purification of the mind is needed so much. So far it goes. Now the gods become very frightened. This person is doing so much austerity. What will happen to us? Will we dethroned or what? So the gods, then the devas went to Lord Narayan and he said, this universal asphyxia afflicting all the worlds at once is totally unknown to us. Therefore, deign to free us from this difficult situation. We are taking shelter in you, who are fit to be resorted to by all. So all the gods then approached the Lord Narayana and prayed, oh, this is the austerity he is doing. We do not know who is he, but it is frightening us. And what shall we do? Please help us, guard us. Then the Lord Narayana said, do not be frightened. I shall take steps to stop the practice of this unheard of austerity. Austerity people can do, but this austerity, what is doing, it is unheard of. There is no precedence before in the history. Therefore, I shall take care. That has been undertaken. On account of whom you are all experiencing this breathlessness. Dhruva, the son of Uttanapada, is meditating in the perfect breathless state on me as one of the whole universe and himself as none other than me, the universal being. See, actually, Dhruva has reached that purity and perfection that he is thinking of me, he has lost his little identity into me. He has become me. That means that's why he has no separate identity. Now, the next chapter, 9th chapter, on page 345. Now, the Dhruva's divine vision. What happened to Dhruva doing this austerity? The Devas now return to their heavens after making respectful obeisance to Lord Mahavishnu, Narayana, whose words of assurance had rid them of all fear. As for the Lord himself, being anxious to see this devotee, he soon started for Madhuban on his eagle vehicle. Narayana has an eagle vehicle. All the gods and goddesses have their own chariots. Some has different. Mother Saraswati has what? Swan. Mother Lakshmi is on what? Owl. Say, then Mother Durga is what? Lion. So every gods and goddesses have their own carriers. So here Narayana has an eagle vehicle. So thereupon the lightning-like and luminous form of the Lord that Dhruva was experiencing in his heart with the help of his buddhi, and that was consolidating the practice of yoga, disappeared from his vision. So he was meditating on God, the effulgent, the light, all-consuming light. So that's why Dhruva was experiencing in his heart what? The lightning-like luminous form of the Lord. He was meditating. That's why it is said, don't think of God that he is in the darkness. No, always think that your heart is full of light and joy. Emitting from the body of, if you think of Ramakrishna, if you think of Krishna or whatever, feel that the radiant, it is not a physical body like you and me, but it is an all spiritual body emitting light and effulgence. That means Jyoti. All the mystics find God, they have the mystic vision, means they see light, divine light. So, and all this vision, what he was having, disappeared because Lord come in front. And that was consolidated by practice of yoga, disappeared from his vision. And when he opened his eyes, so he finding that vision is gone inside, he opened the eyes, and when he opened the eyes, he found the Lord in the very form standing before him, whom he was meditating so many days, as we are all doing meditation. When the darshan will come, he can see that he is standing before him. Nah? Ramakrishna said, I saw God as I see you, more tangibly. He told Naren, no? Naren said, have you seen God? Then what? The Lord said, Sri Ramakrishna said, I see God more tangibly than I see you. That means it's a concrete vision experience. It was a mystic vision, imagining Lord is seated in my heart. He is like this, his feet is like that, his hand is like that, his face is like that, then radiant light, and then radiant light all over, and concentrating, losing his identity into that so much deep that he forgot. Actually, Thakur's life, if we see, his austerity level also unparalleled. Yeah? Some 6 months he spent in a way, some yogis came and put something in his food that he was not eating. It is this type of story we think that is maybe impractical. Now in Ramakrishna's life it is happened. He was in that state of internal joy so much that outside breath stops. The yogi came and he used to rule in the hand, he used to beat him heavily, and little consciousness, body consciousness would come, then he will push something in the mouth. That is the way his body was preserved for the good of humanity. So Dhruva then opened the eyes and found the Lord in the very form that's standing before him. Excited beyond measure at his capital sight, the boy straightway fell down before him in prostration. He greeted him with the whole being, as if he were absorbing him with his eyes, kissing him with his face, and embracing him with his arms. It's a 5 years boy doing so much austerity. So the Lord appeared, and as if with love and affection, he is holding Dhruva, anxious to praise the Lord with a hymn, but unable to do so for want of learning. The boy stood before him with hands held in salutation. He, the resident of the hearts of all, that means Lord Narayan or Lord God, who is the resident in the hearts of all, understood the boy's desire and touched his cheeks with his conch, which is verily the Veda itself. That means he could not express. He saw the Lord for which purpose he was doing austerity. Now he saw the Lord, but his speech he is not express, could not express. So the Lord touched with his conch shell in one hand, touched his cheeks, and then he started speaking. Because that the boy Dhruva thereupon became endowed with the power of poetic expression and also with the knowledge of the Paramatma. So two things happened. He instantly got the knowledge of the Paramatma and he started to express what he is experiencing. Overcome with the highest devotion, he slowly began to recite a hymn to the Lord, whose greatness and glory are revealed far and wide. So then Dhruva, by the grace of Narayana himself, praised this way. That is the praise of Dhruva. And now what Dhruva said? Verse number 6, chapter 9. My salutation to the Supreme Being, the possessor of divine majesties, who having entered my heart has quickened my dormant limbs, senses, and vital powers. They are all paralyzed, no? He was having the consciousness of the body. He's eating so late. Eating, body consciousness is lost by that way. Mind was absorbed in God and God only. So all this power again came back. Hand, eyes, lips, and has presently awakened the power of speech, with which I can now express myself in this hymn. So Dhruva said, now I got back my powers of the senses. By the touch of the Lord, I can praise. Though you are the one without a second, you have, through your infinite power of Maya, constituted of the three gunas, projected all the categories from Mat down, and then having entered into them as their indwelling self, has manifested yourself through their efforts, the several outgoing senses, each with its distinctive power and its presiding deity, just as the one fire expresses itself variously through different kinds of will. Whole Vedanta is one word. So the Dhruva then started praising, O Lord, you are the one without a second. Ekam eva advityam. 7th verse says, Ekastameva Bhagavan idam atma shaktya mayakha. By your own power of Maya, gunaya, samkhayor gunayo mohad adi asesham. Mahad tattva, buddhi tattva, that's 24 cosmic principles of the Sankho. You have created everything. O Lord, you are the, though you are a one without a second, that Brahman absolute, but have your infinite power of Maya constituted the three gunas. Maya contains the three gunas, Sakta, Rajas and Tamas. You projected, these are all your projection, all the categories from the Mahat Tattva, 24 principles, Mana Buddhi Chitta Ahankar, and Prakriti Purusha, and then Mahat Tattva is the first expression, and then come down. Have entered into this, them, and you have created this universe, and you entered into it. Tat Srishtva Tadevo Anupravishat Upanishad says that you have created this universe, and then you entered into it. You have manifested yourself through their effects, the several outgoing senses. Then you have created the senses. Senses become active, each with its distinctive power. Eyes has a vision, ear has a sound, nose has a smell. So you have created all these distinctive features, and your power is working through all the bodies. By the grace alone, by your grace alone, could the great creator, Brahma is creating the whole universe. But who is that behind? You are behind. You are behind the God, Lord, Creator, Brahma, who was like a sleeping man, awakening from his slumber, have come to the prescience of the universe. How can a man of spiritual understanding then forget you, O friend of the afflicted, who are the source of the intelligence and power of Brahma himself, and whose feet constitute the sole shelter for those who seek salvation? So, your grace alone have created the creator God Brahma. How can a man of spiritual understanding then forget you, the Lord of the universe, friend of the afflicted, who are the source of intelligence of all created beings, with the power behind even the Brahma, the creator? They indeed are lost souls who approach you, a veritable wish-yielding tree that can bestow even liberation from the cycle of birth and death, for the mean sensual satisfaction of this cadaverous body. Satisfactions which can be had even in the animal body. So they are among the people in the world, they are already lost, who seeing you as per the objects of the world, sensual world. Even by absorption in Brahman, your own transcendent greatness aspirants do not get the intense bliss which they find in the contemplation and service of you, the divine person. And in listening to the narration of the stories connected with your devotees, what to speak then of the satisfactions which desire-filled people get in the aerial cars of the celestial worlds, which are ever threatened with destruction by the uplifted sword of time. So people prefer going to heaven, aerial, divine aerial cars, no? Airplanes, God's planes, no? These planes lead us from earthly distance, and gods have their own plane. They can go from one plane to one to the higher and lower and all. So people pray, ask for these powers and these. They are foolish people. Seeing you, they ask for this mundane thing. No? So they are not actually developed that way. So these are all the praises of Dhruva continues. It will be now 10th verse I have read, but it will be continued up to another 10 verses almost.
That's the question.
So we end here. So remember that today what we understand, main thing what we read is this, that the Lord was pleased seeing the austerity, Lord was pleased seeing the austerity of Dhruva, who was being so austere, gave up his food, gave up his sleep, and fasting to fast from fruits, to dry leaves and grasses, that to water, then stopped water, breathing, that breath also controlled. After several days, one breath, like that. And ultimately, God was so pleased seeing the austerity. He appeared and he felt him here and he is permeated. And he could not say what he is feeling. Then the Lord touched his chin with a conch shell and in his hand, and with that touch, he got the speech back and the power to express what he was experiencing and saying, "O Lord, you are the absolute one without a second Brahman, but you have become all these things. You are entering into the world, you have become the world. You are at the back of everything in universe." So, and those are the foolish people who, seeing you, don't ask for the highest wisdom, but for the mundane things. That means he actually started his worship for what?
For his father's
Father's care, father's love, and also kingdom. No? But she, purified by austerity and tapas, his mind is changing. What are these mundane things? God, that's why devotion is the highest. That's why we pray, give me love, give me devotion for all. Okay? Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Now we'll have our 7:30 class on Santi Gita. It's a revision of that Santi Gita. And we have ended 4.9.10. 4.9.10. Now the question. If a person has hopes and dreams of things they would like to do with their life, but instead puts that aside in order to take care of an invalid, does this sacrifice count as austerity? Of course. If you do anything to restrain your senses, say mother is, I'm not mother doing austerity for the child. No. Yes, mother forgoes her sleep, her bodily rest, our own comforts for the sake of the child. So that's an austerity. Anything is done to control my needs and dedicate it for the good of others. That's an austerity. So main austerity we should have to think, as I discussed, austerity is physical austerity. There is no end of physical austerities, how much we can do. But austerity, those austerities bring maybe some miraculous power. You will find many yogis have miraculous power. They can bring this thing, give you that thing, and can cure the disease, can do all these things. These are all Raja Yoga powers. No? That means that practice can lead you to that. But those end up as it comes, as they also go away. But if these austerities purify the mind, then the purified mind can help us for going towards God, God realization. Yes, so the question is that, Bill, that it is instead of it as and then invalid someone you are serving, if you do, that is also an austerity. Take it that spirit. That is for your purification, your good, not thinking that it is I'm doing the good to others. Rather, it is our own good, our own purification is happening.
But if you enjoy something doing, it is difficult, but you enjoy of that also.
The question is that
It will also-
you enjoy for what purpose? Your physical joy, then it will, that much is the result. But if you do it for God, then it will be, you think that my enjoyment, I like, one means what? Are you becoming a slave of your mind? I like many things. And I do that. That does not make any spirituality. But is it for God you are doing? That spirit should be always kept there. And our austerity is a demonstration of one's will and desire to know the Lord. Austerities are demonstrations of one's will. Yes, austerity is a demonstration of will, but not to demonstrate to anyone, but you demonstrate to yourself. I am trying to control all the senses, no? I want to control my mind. I want to control my intelligence. I want to control my everything. And why? Why to control? What is the purpose of control? Why shall I control? No, I want to direct all this controlled energy towards God, which is dissipating, no? All the powers are dissipating in all directions, but I'll concentrate them all and put towards God. All the sense, we drain out so much of energy, no? All these senses are exhausting us. You say at the end of the day, I'm tired. Meaning all the senses have worked hard. Eyes have seen so many things, ear have heard. So all the nervous system even, they get tired. But if all this, purpose of all this is to direct towards God, then it is spiritually benefiting. Should I fast a little bit like once a week and intensify practice on that day? Or is it enough to just intensify practice without fasting? Occasional fasting, as Hinduism supports, better if one can do once a month is good. Ekadashi, 11th day, Ram Nam day we do in our Belur Math, many Swamis do on Ekadashi day. That is the day we do the Ram Nam. So one day fasting is good, but main thing, don't torture your body. Don't pamper the body, don't torture the body. Be balanced. That is the modern theory of spiritual practice. That is austerity. Not indulging into something, not overtly torturing the body. Indulging is good because you don't remember God. And too much torture, it brings your mind into the body, not in God. But as much as your mind can go to God easily, do that much austerity. That's good. Main idea should be the purpose of austerity. Why I am doing austerity? What is the gain in me?
Also, the doctor's advice to do the fast. People may have diabetes, lot of conditions. The fasting is not
Good.
diabetic condition, things like that. So fasting, you need doctor's advice these days.
Advice.
Doctor.
Yeah. No, that's why I'm saying for physical health reason you do whatever. But main thing is whatever you do, it is not physical, it is for your spiritual growth. And spiritual growth, what will do best, you know. You try. You try fast. Did you remember God that day more? Or
Is
you
it helpful? Because
Huh?
if you are the day you eat, some part of your mind is busy in cooking, eating, and all this cleaning, all this business.
Right.
But if you don't eat that time, if you wish, you can do it.
Yeah,
Japa.
that is the purpose. As I said, Upavasa means that day I will not cook, I will not eat, I will not spend the time even for cooking, doing this, that. I will utilize that time also. Meaning, as if I am utilizing all the time and I want more time. But are we utilizing our all the time available other than? No, there we should be careful. That's why Holy Mother said, remember God, no? Repeat the mantra. Japa, japa, japa. What does it mean? Are you alert? Already forget about you are talking about too much austerity. What austerity? Fasting. The available time, what we are having, good time, are we utilizing that time remembering God, praying to God, feeling that presence? So that you do fast. And occasional, yeah, fasting, as we have discussed, it gives us self-restraint. There is food. My tongue says, "Ah, it's good, good, good." No, I'm fasting. So what you are doing? You are restraining. You are putting a stop. No, no to your desire. See how it is helping control of the mind. Everyone is taking food. Say, I will not take food today. So you are sitting. See the food. But you have the control. I don't. I am the master. But many cannot do that. So it is a good process to control our mind, our senses, our intentions can be. uh, Here is another question. If a devotee is fasting, is it okay to look forward to eating? Or is the benefit to put the things sacrifice out of the mind? If you're fasting, why do you think of the food again? But that is the day we think more. Fasting day, Shivaratri is a fasting day. Those who don't do Shiva right, eh, that day they think more. I am fasting, I am fasting. Meaning, body is saying, I am fasting. I need food, I need food, I need food. But to control that one day, I fasted whole night, whole day. No? But that's a good attempt. But main thing, a devotee fasting, okay, to look forward to eating. If you are fasting, why shall you look forward for eating? And if you don't, if it is troublesome, don't do all these things. Just live a simple life and call upon God. Fasting is not the goal. Goal is God. So this is the point to be remembered always. But fasting helps. As you say, meditation, meditation, meditation. Everyone meditates, no? Everyone meditates, their subject of meditation is different. The scientist's subject is science, no? An artist is on the art, musician on the music, a writer on the writing. So they are concentrated. But is it God? Then it's called meditation. So it is the purification and control. Self-restraint. So I think that we should not look for eating. And when you think that I am going to fast today, don't think of food at all. Think of God only, if we can. Okay, we end here. Now, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.